Hello, if we've never met before, my name is Rachel and I like to help people become their best, happiest, healthiest versions of themselves, whether that's through intimacy or holistic health or healing. And today I want to talk about how to overcome trauma, although I would say that would be the buzzword, because in my experience it's been more integrating trauma. I think this topic is super needed and there are different ways to go about it, but people don't even want to dive into it or they don't know how to. So I want to share, again, from what I've gathered to help people. So mainly, first off, I can only speak from my personal experience. So QNRT, or quantum neuro reset therapy, really helped me reset, and that was the most powerful tool that I've used. I know not everyone's going to be able to use that, or it's not accessible to everyone, but I encourage you to research it. I do love that trauma is being talked about more and more. However, again, I think more and more people need to learn how to integrate it or overcome it. So another one that's becoming more popular in therapies, it seems like, is EMDR, which I don't remember what it stands for right now. I was trying to think about it earlier too. But basically, and I haven't gone through a session, but from what I can tell, you're thinking of the situation or the trauma, and as you're processing it, you're moving your eyes side to side to help your brain and your nervous system rewire the experience that it remembers from that event. So how it was found was this person was on a walk, the founder was on a walk, and they were looking side to side. So that is something I've done before. When I was like really triggered, I went on a walk and then I moved my eyes side to side to process and kind of release and let go. You can also do self EMDR on YouTube. You can literally just pull up a video of like a, I don't know, marble going side to side and watch it. So I recommend those. Something else that can be healing is if you have a safe space that's a person to share something you went through and they are, just a listener, that can be very, very healing. It can be more traumatizing though if it's not a safe space, so I would very much just discern that, and maybe you do try and be vulnerable and it kind of backfires on you, so you have information for the future, right? But that can be very healing. When you talk about rewiring the nervous system, I highly recommend legs up the wall pose. That resets you. It's very calming. You can do it 5 to 10 minutes a day. And then, emotional freedom technique. So again, this can be for basically any symptom someone has, but there are meridians and energetic points all over our body. So if you've experienced anxiety, depression, again, anything that you kind of carry around, a phobia, a fear, or a trauma in this instance, you can go through all of those points. Again, you can go on YouTube. But basically, this dog I'm watching doesn't usually like to be pet, but she wants pets right now. And she just ate rabbit poop outside, so I'm kind of grossed out. But there's the karate chop point, and then the top of the head, and then you go inner eye, outside of the eye, under the eye. I usually do this with my other hand. Under the eye, under the nose, under the chin, and then under the armpit. So the setup would be something like, even though I have this trauma, I still choose to love and accept myself. All this trauma, you can go as deep as you want to. But that's something else. That's completely free. You just literally have to do it. I think I run into people, sure, there's some expensive stuff you can spend money on that helps, but I talk to people every single day that don't have very much income and resources. And as a healer, right, that cares so much about the freedom of the planet and humanity during this time in ascension, then I want to get this information into more and more minds and resources of people so they can share it with students and family members and empower themselves. So that's why I do the work that I do. But yeah, we got EMDR, QNRT, EFT, finding a safe person. And then walking is actually really, really healing too, because you're stimulating both sides of the brain. So I do recommend going on lots and lots of walks, just getting steps in. That can be very meditative. A little on trauma. So I'm sure, well, maybe you've heard there is big T trauma and little t. And I think most people have experienced both, probably more so little t trauma, because I've talked to many people that are like, I don't have any trauma in my life. But basically, so a big T trauma would be like a big event, like a car wreck, you know, or a incident or assault, or, you know, something big like that. And that's what when I started out thinking trauma can only be that. But then little t trauma is when needs are not met over an extended period of time. So then your brain forms like, oh, I'm not worthy, or I'm not good enough, or if I, you know, did act this certain way or look this certain way, maybe then I would be loved more. And again, in my experience, you can overcome and integrate both. Basically, your nervous system and your brain and your wiring has experienced your life from the moment you are born, and it will until when you are not alive anymore. So all of that information, right, is like stored in your subconscious and your nervous system. So if you do get physical symptoms that arise, like anxiety or panic attacks, or, you know, fibromyalgia, anything, that is just information that's kind of been stuck and stored. So to have tools to process it and move through it, again, I think are the number one mental health tool and resource that we can implement. It just needs to be talked about more and more. What was I gonna say also? Also shaking meditations, or just shaking in general. That's like shaking things off, right? Like I watch dogs or any animals that you see in nature after a stressful event, they kind of shake, or when they are worked up, they, you know, move to work through and process that stress that they are going through. And it's horrible to me that in this country we're making kids not have recess and cutting that out. And as we become adults, we're told to just not move and, you know, not act like a kid. But if you really want to become happier and healthier and let go of a lot of the stuff I know you're probably carrying around, you can shake it off. You can do some of these tools to let go and process and integrate. Again, I just think more and more people need this information. And again, whether you want to spend a lot of money on it, great. And if you don't have to. So I hope some of these tools can help. Another thing that's helped me, and something I offer now for people, is energy work, energy healing. Again, basically everything has an energy and frequency. So if you have a stressor that you never processed fully, you probably lodged it somewhere into your body. So energy work can kind of start to break that up and release some of those layers that are very much, I just see like a lot of layers and a lot of people of stuff they're holding on to, and they wonder why more money won't come to them, or they wonder why they don't have more love, or they wonder why they don't have more happiness and joy. It's because if you hold on to all this drama and trauma, then that's what you're going to continue to experience. So let me know if this was helpful. Let me know what you want to see next, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.